Hello, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Break Blogging, where in this episode 109, we're actually going to kick off our big series of episodes having to do with the business, the monetization, the money making that we're going to be talking about here with related to blogging. Now, we need to kick off this part of our series talking about banner ads, specifically why banner advertising is actually the dumbest way to monetize your blog. Now, this might come as news to many bloggers because it does tend to be the main way that people do it. People usually say, well, I'm going to build up a lot of traffic. I'm going to put banner ads and affiliate links all over my blog and make it big. Well, it just doesn't work for most people. It just doesn't work. So as we begin this section on delivery, the business side of everything, we just have to address this issue of banner ads. And I want to make it very clear where I stand on the idea of running banner ads. Now, I will say up front that I went for many, many years making good money actually with advertising. Now, I did this in the technology niche, which is actually where I got my start in this whole blogging thing. I started a tech blog, and that was the primary way that I made money. Now, down the road, I did get into selling my own products on the blog, and that's actually what propelled it into the six-figure range, was going and selling my own stuff. And so I learned some lessons early on with regard to banner ads, but I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't make money doing it. The trick there is that I had a lot of traffic on that site. Now, most people who are getting started don't have that much traffic to their blog. Okay? And so if you're trying to make money that way, you're going to get discouraged pretty quickly. So with that in mind, I want to give you 5 specific problems with using banner ads to monetize your blog, okay? So let's get started on that. Problem number 1, and this is a biggie, is that it just doesn't make any money. Now, if you're trying to monetize your site, especially if you're trying to build your income stream into something that's respectable and something that could possibly get you out of a day job or what have you, that would be a pretty big problem if it just doesn't work. You know, if banner ads just don't make you money. Statistically speaking, according to Monetize Pros, the average CPM, which is cost per 1,000 displays of an ad, is $2.80. So 1,000 views of a banner ad, and the average cost industry-wide for that is $2.80. Now, the thing is, you as a blogger are likely not going to be selling your own advertising. What's probably going to happen is you're going to go through a network of some kind, like AdSense or something like that. So let's just say that you're getting a 70% publisher split from that. They get 30%, you get 70%. Probably pretty darn close to what you're going to get through AdSense and many other networks. Now, 70% of $2.80 is $1.96. Okay? So for 1,000 displays of the ad, well, let's just put this in a context here. That's 1,000 page views on your blog. 1,000 people came to your blog and they viewed something at least 1,000 times. You make $1.96 from that. Now, if you're impressed with $1.96, more power to you, but I'm not. And if you realize how much work it takes to get 1,000 people to come to your site, I think that, getting $1.96 for all your hard work probably isn't going to float your boat that much. But yet that is the reality that you're facing when you're trying to monetize using banner ads. Now, obviously those numbers go up and down. The $2.80 figure was an industry average. So some niches make more than that. Others don't. Others make even less than that. So you're taking a 70% split of what is often a lower number. It doesn't matter what the final numbers are for you. The truth of the matter is that there's not a lot of money in banner advertising as a publisher unless you're running a lot of traffic. Because, take 1,000 page views, you get roughly that kind of figure. Well, if you're doing 1,000,000 page views, it starts to add up into some respectable figures, and we're talking about a whole different ball game, okay? So the only way to make good money with ads is to have a lot of traffic, okay? Probably you're not going to be in that situation, at least right away. Okay, let's move on to problem number 2. This problem is that it sends people away from your blog, and it does it for mere pennies. So here's the thing. You are doing all this work to get people to your blog. And I know that getting more traffic is one of the top things that we're all trying to do with our site. So you do all that work to get them there, and then you desperately try to make them go away by putting other people's banner ads on your blog. I mean, think about it. That is really the only purpose of that banner ad, is to distract the person and make them click and leave your site. That's it. So the only money that you are able to make is by getting your hard-earned readers to leave. That doesn't make a lot of sense, right? Here's the other thing, too, is that your advertisers, they don't have your interest in mind. They're not trying to improve the reader experience on your blog or anything like that. They're literally trying to steal the attention of your readers. That's how banner advertising works. They're trying to interrupt the person. They're trying to wave their hands and go, hey, notice me. Don't pay attention to the other guy's stuff. Look at me. So that they will click on that banner ad and leave your site. So that's a pretty big problem because it goes counter to what you're trying to do with your own blog, doesn't it? Problem number 3, readers hate these things. You probably don't enjoy going to banner ads. Nobody's ever said that how much they enjoyed the reader experience on a blog because of the ads. Those words have never been said anywhere. The truth of the matter is that ads interrupt people. That's what they do. They're designed to distract. And actually what happens is because these advertisers are just trying to get people to click on their stuff, the ads become ever more interruptive. It used to be the pop-up ads were the big thing, and it doesn't get more interruptive than that, except that it does. Now they have these, what do they call them, these interstitial ads, but they're ones where you try to go to somebody's site and then literally the entire screen gets taken over by an ad and you have to click to continue. So they're literally interrupting your desire to get to the page that you went to. Happens all the time on news sites, I've noticed. But they're annoying. They're really annoying, and readers hate them. So it just demonstrates the whole cross-purpose nature of this entire thing. You're trying to provide a good reader experience. You're trying to give value. You're trying to build a community. And you're trying to, maybe make some money as well. But yet you're putting things on the site that are specifically against all those purposes. Again, that seems like not a very smart maneuver. Problem number 4 of our 5 problems with banner advertising. Problem number 4 is that it really delivers no value, okay? It's not valuable to your reader, okay? Now, here's the thing. We go back to what we were talking about in our pit stop episode in 108. We talked about why we call this section of the 7 stages delivery. Money is a result of delivering value to people who want it. That's how you're going to make your money. Now, here's the thing. Banner ads, you're trying to make money off of your visitors by actually not delivering any value to them, but actually making it less valuable for them because you're cluttering up your site. So you're delivering zero value to your readers with those ads. In fact, they probably hate you for it. Okay, so you're not delivering any value. You're actually running the other direction very quickly. Doesn't make a lot of sense, okay? You'd be much smarter to actually think about how you can deliver value of your own. Problem number 5. It actually makes a mockery of what you're trying to do on your site. You do all that work to build your community and your reader base, but your real customer is the advertiser. I mean, think about it. Money is the result of delivering value, right? So if you're making money off of banner ads, then the only person that you're delivering value to is the advertiser, not your reader. So it's a bit of a mockery situation because you're acting and you're thinking that you're trying to deliver as much value as you can to your reader, but in reality, the person that matters the most in this situation would be to deliver value to the advertiser because they're the ones paying your bills at that point. So money is a result of delivering value, but the only value that you're delivering here is to the advertiser, which is probably the wrong customer. Or if this is just your business model, then just embrace it and realize that the advertiser is your customer. Okay? If you go to news sites, you'll very often find that the very news stories they post are designed to promote an advertiser. They realize that their customer is the advertiser. That's just the way that it is. And so if you're in that situation, realize that you are that guy. You're the person who is your customer, your client is actually the advertiser, not your readers, and just realize it for what it is. Okay? So those are the big 5 problems. Problem number 1, huge one, it doesn't make any money unless you've got just a ton of traffic. Problem number 2 is it sends people away from your blog for mere pennies. Problem number 3 is that readers typically hate them. They don't like them. They're trying to block them and all kinds of things. Problem number 4 is that it delivers no value to anybody. Problem number 5 is that it makes a mockery of what you're trying to do, or at least what most bloggers say they're trying to do with their blog. Okay? So that is why banner advertising is really the dumbest way to monetize your blog. Now, I'll show you one smart way to make money with banner advertising. The only way to make money with ads is to be the advertiser. You be the one who's putting the ads on other people's sites, not the one who's publishing them. Okay? Now, we'll be talking a lot more about that later up in the series because that is really the way that you do it. If you're the person who is putting banners on other people's sites and then you're the one receiving the customers, great. But you thinking that you're in the business of being the publisher and throwing AdSense tags all over your site, it's a losing proposition, generally not worth your time. If you're running a boatload of traffic, realize that, yeah, you can make some money with ads. I certainly did. But realize, too, that with that quantity of traffic, you can make more money doing other things in most cases. Now, I want to end off with this question, and that is, what if you're currently running banner advertising right now? Like, what should you do? Should you just remove everything and just listen to me and say, I'm just not going to run ads anymore? Well, you got to keep in mind a couple of things. First of all, that in some markets, it really is your only option, unfortunately. And the technology market that I came from is one that sort of kind of close there. Now, realize I did get into selling information products. I actually started a membership site on my tech blog, and it worked. But it was not without some uphill fights. And it's the nature of that market. The technology space tends to be very news-oriented, and the news-oriented markets are typically hard to orient a product offering around. If you back up many, many episodes here in Coffee Break Blogging, go back to stage 1, we talked about the transformation, that actually the best markets out there are the ones where you are delivering a transformation to people. Well, with news, you're not delivering a transformation. They're there for news. Same with politics. Political blogs, and I know people love to get into this kind of space because they like to, bloviate about politics or what have you, but realize that it's not a good market for building a real business around it. Generally, it's going to be about advertising. And so if you're in that type of market, realize that that really is going to be your primary business model. Maybe that and a little bit of affiliate marketing. Embrace it and move on and just do it. But realize that your customer here is the advertiser. It's not your reader. And you've got to realize that. Now, if you're not in a news or political market, or if you're in a market where you can see that you actually are trying to deliver some type of a transformation to your readers, to your audience, then I do encourage you to really rethink it if you're running banner ads. If it were me and I really saw that clear transformation, I would remove all the advertising from it, and I would concentrate on building my own internal assets. I would be looking at building my list, and I would be looking at building products that I can sell them. And that would be so much more effective, even with smaller traffic numbers, than you're ever going to get by plopping AdSense tags on your site. Okay. Now, if you want to learn more about this business model in full, then this is exactly what we do inside the Blog Monetization Lab. So in order to learn more about the lab and have other people, other members, other listeners of this podcast also helping you get over confusions, obviously along with me, then I encourage you to check out the Blog Monetization Lab, because that is where we are there. We are doing this every day, and we're here to help. So that's the Blog Monetization Lab at blogmonetizationlab.com. With that being said, I will see you next time where we're going to start talking about products that you can put together for your site. I'll see you then.